How's it going, peoples out there in the Evetech world? I hope you are all doing very well. And today is going to be, like I said, the Wednesday top 10, where I go through the Evetech specials and I still give you my top 10 picks. And just jumping right into the deep end with a couple of honorable mentions. There is a chair sale still going on at Evetech at the moment. I've actually gotten one of these, a Rosie. I think it's the Ash. It's one of these two. It's either the Toretta or the Venaza. I have butchered that name absolutely terribly, but they do look quite promising. It looks like it's a really cool and strong avenue for a Rosie, especially with them doing like racing sim stuff as well. I'm really excited for that. One of the things I have to mention in here is this D16E desk, which is a desk that I use all the time on the channel. I have done a re-review of this as well. I'm not sure if it is on the product page or not. It doesn't look like it, but I know it's definitely on our YouTube. So if you guys want to get a bit more insight into this desk, do have a look at that. But it's a full electronically adjustable. You can put like, I think, up to 70 kilograms onto it. Exactly that, and it can still move up and down with that. I have tested it with a couple of heavy builds which were probably about 30 kilos each and had absolutely no problems. This is such a good working tool if you're working on PCs constantly in your environments. If you're doing tech support or builds or anything like that, this thing is absolutely invaluable. Like, just as an example, if I want to be able to get into the top of the machine, then I can just lower it so that I can get over the top. But then if I'm doing wiring where I'm going with a lot of front to back, I kind of want it a bit more in front of me, like on my eye line, so then I can just raise it up, and it works with you, which is really nice to have. Normally these are just over 7k, so this is a pretty good price. Adding to the honorable mentions though, there is a clearance sale happening at the moment with a lot of really cool Thrustmaster peripherals. They do have the Airbus pack, which I featured in the last one. It's really good because it's got a dual throttle quadrant, so if you are into sim flying or something like that, having that is invaluable, because then the bigger planes that have multiple engines on either wing, then you can set up those engines for each wing, which is really nice to have, especially in a flight sim. There's some really cool wheels as well, which are PlayStation and PC compatible, for instance like this T150. Then we'll get to this DELL monitor, don't worry, a little bit further down the line. They're 27240s, also at a really good price at 7,999. And starting off then with the number 10, in the number 10 spot, I've put this HOTAS Warthog replica kit, simply because, I mean, look at it. It's like ridiculously high level stuff for this category without rudder pedals. This is like the tippy top that you can get to. Once again, dual throttle quadrant as well, nicely molded and stuff. Like, this thing's extremely high end, and it's a literal replica from the A10 Warthog, which is just really sick, like, in my opinion at least. This setup normally is about 9k is the best price that I've seen on it, so for it to be sub 7, it's a considerable amount of discount. At number 9, I've thrown in the MARVO full mechanical RGB backlit keyboard. It's just really good bang for buck keyboard. Like I said, fully RGB, fully backlit, and fully mechanical as well, so it's going to last quite a bit longer than a membrane keyboard, just because there's a mechanical switch there and not just a rubber dome that's going to decay over time, and eventually it will crack and break. That is going to be your future. At least with this, it's got a little bit more longevity and legs in it, and if you treat it well enough, you could probably get about 2 or 3 years out of it. At number 8, I've put in the iSports from Monster. I just really like this brand, and these are some of the better ones that I did test from them. $4.99 is a pretty damn good price for these, because they've got IPA5X certification, built-in microphone, and then Bluetooth technology as well. So a full wireless kit and setup. It's got a nice little inline remote control as well on it, so you won't have to take out your device every 3 seconds if you want to just skip a track, pause a track, do basics on the whatever you're listening through Spotify, etc. Then you'll be able to do that absolutely no problems. And then they are magnetically connected to one another. You're going to get about 8 hours worth of playback time, 1.5 hours worth of charge time. Like I say, I found with these Monster stuff to be about 90% on par with what they quoting, so that's, I think, at like 40% volume. You might want these a little bit higher, but if your intention is to go for an hour run once a week with these on, or like a normal gym session, like even if it's a long 2.5 hour gym session, charge it overnight, you're going to have absolutely no problems. Quality is fantastic. They magnetize on the back of the headphone itself as well, so you can just literally pull it out the ear, let it plop together, and you're able away. At number 7, I've put in the Icon AMCs. The active noise cancelling on this is actually pretty damn legit. So is the battery life, because the quoted is about 30. I got over 25.5 hours worth of continuous playback, which is like considerable, right? And then they've got pass-through as well. So if you don't want to recharge them from your laptop while you're on the go, then you can just use the 3.5 mil pass-through. And when they are playing music, it really works. Like the active noise cancelling works like they're pretty damn well. 4 hours to recharge, IP5X certified, Bluetooth technology, all the good stuff from Monster. At number 6, I've put a DELL 27 Full HD IPS. It's probably the cheapest 27 that you can get, especially with this kind of spec. It does have FreeSync built in, which is nice, at a 75Hz refresh rate. It is IPS as well, so it's got the TUV certification. That's not an easy thing to get, and it's eye protection effectively. So if you're going to be sitting in front of the PC for long hours doing work or play, then I can highly suggest this monitor. At the price point, really solid. 3-year warranty, nice. Jumping into the top 5, I'm kicking it off with this TP-Link. I've been very impressed with my own Archer AC1900, and then this is AX, so it's Wi-Fi 6, so it's got even better travel through devices and better triangulation of those devices. It's going to just give you a better overall wireless performance, especially if you are connecting to another AX device. It's got built-in gigabit LAN setup on it as well, so it's a nice, somewhat future-proof device. And if you're streaming to something with an AC or an AX type of wireless, then it'll be a very good media bridge for that. And like I said, they have improved their software significantly. It was pretty bad before, I'm not gonna lie. The interface looked like it had been made on Windows 98. This has been brought up much more into the future. At number 4, I've put in this 240mm kit because at the price, it's one of the best full RGB kits that you can buy. It's really good bang for buck, this product. The cooling performance is right on par with most of the bigger names that you see in cooling. The overall look and feel is pretty nice. The newer fans I'm not the biggest fan of ever, to be honest with you, but I think it's really hard to beat them at the price point. I would, however, suggest that you team them up with another high pressure set, so you get a full push-pull setup on this. Then, like, these things are kind of cracked, if we're being honest, compared to some of the other water cooling kits and stuff I've tested on. I was actually surprised that this beat some of the more premium brands that were like 2,000, 3,000 rand for a 240mm. I think the best one that it beat was about 2,400 rand compared to this 1,700. 1-year warranty. It's mostly on because of the fans. They're moving parts. They're gonna die after probably 20,000 hours or so. These are not the longest lifetime bearings I've ever seen. Mine lasted a little over 2 years. A little on 2 years, which is still pretty good. I mean, to replace these fans is not the biggest expense. The main thing is my water cooler, even 2 years on, is still ticking away absolutely perfectly. At number 3, I've put in this upgrade kit. It's just dropped recently with the X570 Plus. This has a 12+2 power phasing system, so it's going to be really good if you are looking to have like a really good upgrading path. Then this is the way to start it off. X570 Plus, you've got the latest X570 chipset. This motherboard, I did do pretty much all of our premium RYZEN testing on this with the 5900X and 5900XT. My benchmark results were very comparable to like the other big channels. I really like the layout of this motherboard as well. Look and feels pretty nice. It's got a big old heatsink there for your M.2 cooling. Nothing on the top one. Maybe basis, maybe just throwing in another small one over there would be great, even if it bumps the price up a little bit. But look, the main thing is you got crazy good power phasing, enough for putting through 200 watts. The best chips run at like 135. Even my old X470 Pro, which has got 10 power phases, runs at 135 watts. Absolutely no problems. Good storage expansion as well. Just a really well put together motherboard, really nicely spec'd, and normally these are about a little under 5 grand, say. So for 6.5, you're getting a 6-core 3500X, no hyperthreading, but for gaming, you don't really want hyperthreading anyway because it actually impacts your performance negatively. The RAM is 2600 megahertz. It's not the fastest ever, but it's kind of almost free in certain terms, because if you had to price this bundle individually, you're looking at over 8 grand. Whereas 6.5 is extremely competitive, and everything comes with a 3-year warranty, and the RAM has limited lifetime. At number 2, I put in an Intel 10700F upgrade kit with a Z490P and 3200 megahertz of 32 gigs of the 3200 megahertz memory. Now, the reason that this one pips the other one slightly is because of the processor, because of the upgrade pathing as well. This is also a really good platform to look to upgrade on. I don't know yet what Intel's going to do with their new motherboards or processors, if it's going to be backward compatible or they're going to change the die size. But if you're looking to stick around on 10th gen for some time, then this will be a really good one for that. I literally have the X470 Pro, which is the AMD version of this board effectively. Mine does have a slightly more impressive sound card on it, which is something interesting, but everything else is almost identical. I do also have M.2 cooling, which is not the end of the world not to have. Like if you buy the Hikvisions, for instance, and they do come with their own little heatsink in there, so it's maybe not the end of the world. But the main thing is power phasing is really good. You've got 4 slots for your DIMMs as well. Nice port setup. This good old RAM kit, I mean, this RAM kit alone is like 4 grand. So at the price of like just over 10k to get a really good MOBO with really good RAM, a really good processor, even though it's locked and it's not overclockable, you will be able to in the future maybe snake yourself like a 10850K on the sly for cheap, and you can pop that in and overclock it on this platform because you've got that power phasing. And the number 1 deal of the week, they'll just went and made this even more insane. Okay, it was $4,999 this monitor. Now it's $4,499. That's the same price as most brands' 24-inch 144s. This is a 27 144, and it's G-Sync compatible. It's got FreeSync Premium as well. The main thing is it's got that proper G-Sync controller. I can't stress to you guys how good that really is. Some people say that they experience more input delay with it, which was interesting to me because every time I've set up and used it, it's felt silky smooth, especially when you drop under that 144 mark. Then it does make a massive difference in your experience. And this puppy is curved, and then it's got a really nice periscope neck as well. Tilt function, as you can see, so you should be able to get completely comfortable with this on the spot. And it's kind of nicely understated. I really like the design, especially at the back. It's not something you look at a lot, but it's nice to know that it looks quite sleek and elegant. You could kind of have this as a crossover kind of device as well, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that this is IPS. Let me just confirm. Okay, it's VA, which is also pretty good for color reproduction, so you should be able to use this in like pretty much almost any environment. And if you're doing a crossover environment like me, for instance, where you have film requirements and for editing and that sort of stuff, and then gaming as well, all of the same sort of area, this thing looks extremely attractive. Yes, it's 1080p, it's not going to be as sharp as a 1440p. That price with G-Sync, with a 3-year local warranty. DELL, what witchcraft is this? Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on Friday. Good afternoon, hello, hamburgerly, good day, and welcome. Now I've done the most exacerbated intro ever conceived,